extremely strong sprint there, in fact, by Christian House. Didn't need to follow the others, he just went out there and did it all himself.
Well, it's early days, but you can see it's a handsome margin already. 6 minutes and 10 seconds for the leaders. Well, welcome back to stage one of the Tour of Britain, the longest, just over 200 kilometres, and they are nearing now the foot slopes of the second climb at Westleton. 4 riders then, still ahead, and just over 6 minutes. Remember the advantage, the last time split we received.
It's a hot day today, and you can see the riders all feeding. There goes an empty bottle there off into the side of the road, no doubt picked up by one of the fans out on the road. As we come up to the Skoda King of the Mountains.
Christian House there in the black strip, no doubt thinking about getting more points to add to the 4 he picked up on the first climb at Snape.
Yeah, Christian House, he really is a strong rider, and he'll be out there, and now he's in this position, I think his intent is to go for this King of the Mountains, surely. It's the way he likes to ride.
Just to keep an eye on the rider in green though, because Whiting looks full of bounce here in the lower slopes of the climb, and Whiting was second to the summit of Snape, chasing Christian House all the way, but he's very, very experienced, is the man wearing the black strip there, House, and he's won 1 or 2 major competitions throughout his career. Has had an injury earlier this year, but now the injury has gone away as the riders once again ride through the corridor of faces here to the cacophony of applause. They have all turned out here to watch the Tour of Britain. It's captured the imagination here of the British public, and they all want to see, of course, Mark Cavendish and Bradley Wiggins. Here we go for the sprint for the summit of the second climb. On the left, it's Christian House. House finding the good line. Can he get to the summit first? He's still being challenged then by Whiting, but it's House that takes the maximum points yet again. Full house then for Christian House, and he's doing a superb job here in his bid to try and win the King of the Mountains. There's the rest of the positions confirmed for you.
Yeah, Johnny Clark there, he looked like he was going for it. Looked a little bit laboured though, and all the other riders came round him, and yes, yet again Christian House showed his strength.
I must admit, I like the look of this Belgian though, this Whiting on and Post. He's riding very, very well. He obviously must know about the reputation of Christian House, but he's not afraid of him, and he's tried to take his scalp on both occasions as they've gone to the line on each of the climbs. So once again they settle down to the sharing of the workload as they gulp in the air to get their second win.
Now we're back at the peloton. Be interesting to see who's working on the front. Obviously the big sprinters teams, Sky and Garmin Sharp. Here at the back.
Certainly not the place to be, is it? Particularly when there's an attack at the front, because it's you get that whiplash effect. But riders from Sky sitting right at the back there, and that was Luke Rowe, and the thin line forming at the front, and that tells me, Rob, the long sinuous line indicates that the pressure is now being applied, and I feel that Sky are probably saying that's enough, you're not going to have any more advantage.
Yeah, these riders really do need to reel this group in now, and let's see who's up there. There's Liquigas, Escatel, all together, all up near the front, all trying to keep themselves out of trouble on these long, thin, narrow roads. Can get a little bit treacherous further back down the bunch, but here we can see Sky and Garmin Sharp all with their riders up the front.
There's 1 or 2 other teams as well trying to nudge their way into the line. Sigma Sport are putting a couple of riders in the line as well, so they're all happy to share the workload to try and pull the rest back. Welcome drink then for Pierre Blocchi at the back from Node 4 Giordana Racing Team. And Liquid today, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be gulped down. They'll be going back to the team car, collecting bottles in their dozens.
Yeah, crucial to keep hydrated on a day like this. It's warm out there. It's probably touching 30 degrees out there now in this midday sun, and they're so important in stage races.
Look at the field here, just crossing the summit of that second climb at Westleton, and 6 minutes back, remember, as they just dance their way to the top. Long way to go, and you get a feeling that that chase is ready to start to unfold.
After 105 kilometres, the 4 leaders were still clear, and as they rode through huge crowds along the seafront, Johnny Clark of UnitedHealthcare took the second Yodel sprint unopposed. There was much more of a competitive element to the final intermediate sprint of the day after 141 kilometres in the pretty town of Coltishall. The results saw Rony Martias of Saur Sojasun break clear, and once again Rapha Condor's Christian House had to